Good afternoon, everybody, here in the room and in our audio audience. I am Gil Cedillo, and this is Wednesday, September 7th, 2016. This is the Housing Committee in room 1060, City Hall. And we have three appointments that we're ready to confirm, and we should bring all three up together.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Items 1 through 3, appointment of Mr. Delfino de la Cruz, Mr. Daniel Tenenbaum to the Housing Authority, and appointment of Ms. Herpsima Cachadorian to the Commission for Community and Family Services.
Great. Come on up. Mr. Tenenbaum, hello again. We're missing Mr. de la Cruz. We'll do two. Mr. de la Cruz stepped out of the room?
I don't think he was ever here. He's probably running late.
Okay. Well, we'll bring him back at the end of the meeting if we get the opportunity. So, congratulations to both of you. Why don't you introduce yourself to the committee and tell us the virtues of this appointment.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Herpsima Cachadorian. I'm sorry, you wanted me to...
Tell us about your appointment and how you're going to do such a great job for the city of Los Angeles and why it's important for us to have you.
Okay, great. Well, I'm a mother of a 9-year-old, and my journey in the volunteer world started with her. She went through the Head Start program, which is a low-income program, a federally funded program, and that's when I started really finding a passion in making sure that our underserved children are having the same opportunities as everyone else that's in the community. And so when she started the K through 12 program, I went into the PTA, and I am a board of manager for the California State PTA. I'm on the Education Commission, trying to serve all the children throughout California. And when this came up, I thought, you know, what better way to help my community than to offer my services and my volunteerism to try and make a difference in some way and somehow, and that's pretty much why I'm here today.
Okay. So, you know, myself and my colleague here, Mr. Huizar, his predecessor, Mr. Alatorre, took a very big initiative to make sure that we were taking care of children in the city's budget. What are your thoughts on that, and what are some of the things that you want to do during your term?
Well, I think the most important investment we can make in any area is for our children, whether it be their education, whether it be within their community, making sure they have safe places to go and play outdoors with parks. And, you know, I think that's the best investment we can make. I remember a friend of mine once said, the reason why I volunteer so much is because I want to make sure I have competent caretakers when I'm in the home. And so that's my goal as well, in making sure that we are bringing up a community of children who are well-rounded, well-educated, have had the greatest opportunities, just like any other child that maybe is from a better income. And that would be my mission, and my goal is to make sure that the underserved is getting a voice within this community as much as I can help them too.
Colleagues? Go ahead.
I just want to thank you for your service and ask us, what do you think some of the obstacles are going to be for you to achieve these lofty, desirable, and much needed goals?
I'm sure there's going to be obstacles. What they are, I don't necessarily know, and I can't tell you. However, I know it just takes the strength of voices coming together and making sure that we are fighting for our communities and our kids and our families. And as long as there's someone out there willing to make their voice heard or willing to raise that voice, I think any obstacle can be challenged and overcome possibly.
Well, I think you have the kind of attitude and the kind of commitment to really make a difference, and we're glad to. I'm glad to support your nomination. I know you do very well on the commission, so
thank you,
thank
sir.
you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from Mr. Tannenbaum, and then we're joined by Mr. De La Cruz.
Hello, my name is Daniel Tenenbaum, and my background is that for over 20 years, I have a company that is owning and investing and managing apartment units, actually over 1,200 apartment units in the city of Los Angeles. And I, through especially the last 5 years, have tried to figure out various ways that I can bridge my knowledge of housing to help the community where affordable housing and homelessness are one of the major civic issues that all of us are dealing with in every one of the council districts. And so I'll just quickly tell you how I've kind of bridged it. I've been very involved in a lot of nonprofit stuff, but I've in trying to helping out the community. But specifically related to homelessness, I've been involved with Home for Good, whereby I am a part of the Landlord Task Force, where I am giving guidance to this group, which to be able to strengthen the programs to make them more attractive for owners like myself to house the homeless. When there's a 3% vacancy and rents are rising, it's hard to convince owners to be able to do that. But we are involved with a group called Breland Corners. They provide what I consider to be the Rolls-Royce program in terms of the bells and whistles for owners, and we've actually housed 11 various homeless people, taking them off the street in our apartments. And so my philosophy is it's much less expensive to house the homeless or any affordable housing within the existing structure, within the existing apartment units, as opposed to building new. And I am focused on figuring out very creative ways to leverage the existing housing to help both the homeless and affordable housing issues. And I have met personally with the mayor's office, coming up with various ideas. I've also met with Councilmember Bonins to talk about homelessness issues, and working on other projects, including in Boyle Heights with the Breed Street Shul, where we have transformed one of the two buildings to serve the local population with the goal of providing social services to the local community, as well as to support the needs of the local community. I'm also involved with Move LA, which is, as you may know, is a coalition to promote public transportation with a coalition of business, labor, and environmental. So again, this to me is to be able to, one of the greatest ways that I can help our community is by leveraging my knowledge of housing, of walking our properties, knowing quality of life issues, knowing how to look at a budget, knowing how much things cost to get things done, and being able to do the same at the Housing Authority.
Thank you. Very impressive. Nothing on homelessness? Nope. Mr. Price?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you for your willingness to serve. It is, I don't want to say a thankless job, but it does require certainly an important degree of stick-to-itiveness, and so we appreciate your professional knowledge and your personal commitment. I think it really does make a difference. Just curious, so you mentioned that you have units citywide. Could you give us an idea of what percentage of those units you think are in South LA? Just kind of curious in terms of your portfolio.
0. We have the furthest east we have is downtown, and in actually quite a large presence in Koreatown and some and a little bit in East Hollywood, but nothing in.
Well, we certainly like enlightened landlords in South LA, and so we encourage you to consider opportunities there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't stop there. The first is a very ascending and vibrant community.
We have one in the first.
Any other comments? Senor, or sir? Go ahead.
Should I pass this down?
Yes, please. Tell us about yourself, who you are, and why this appointment is so important for the city.
Well, first off, I want to apologize for being late. I was downstairs and kind of caught up. Why is this? A little bit about myself. I actually grew up in the San Fernando Valley. Been involved in a lot of things as a youngster. A lot of issues. Been involved in community outreach even as a young man, trying to help kids off gangs. I was an ex-gang member myself up until the age of 18 when I had At 19 years old, actually, I had my daughter, which created me to change some of my lifestyle. I was always involved in trying to get the community to help out and helping out the community and get guys off of gangs, even though I was a gang member. But the way I found the way to get out of all that was, by I'm actually now a union rep for the Labor's Local 300, and that gave me an opportunity through various ways of different jobs in construction. One of which I actually became an instructor for the Labor's at the Labor's Training School, and with that with the guidance of the Labor's Sergio Rascon and a bunch of other, community members have helped me and guide me into the right path. And I did end up living for a short period of time in Pico Union on Toberman, 1343 Toberman Boulevard Street, actually, which is a housing unit also. And there I saw a lot of the issues that I want to help out now. Seeing a lot of people that are trying to do good and needed the system. I got in, and a lot of them did get out. Like myself, and actually my wife, her aunt and herself were living there. That's where I ended up meeting my wife, and ended up shortly after that moving, buying a home, and kind of got away from all that. And now it's been great. I go back. I help out also communities and schools. Get a lot of the guys coming out of prison come into our programs, our apprenticeship programs, PV jobs. So we help a lot of the community get out of that, what they call the rotating, the system where you just rotate from the father to the son, or even mother and daughter that end up, getting involved in gangs, drugs, incarceration. So this is, I think, is an avenue that I found myself for me myself was the avenue that I needed to get out. Was one way that I knew that I can make good money, support my family, and at the same time, have a career. Something that I would never thought of. Never once did that ever cross my mind. My thought was always, I'm not going to make it to be 18, let alone 21, let alone now 42. But I can honestly say that, these opportunities that were given to me by the community, by the union, were what's helping me get to where I'm at right now. And I appreciate it, and I think that that's something that I can give back, and hopefully this is the way I can do that.
Great. Mr. Price, Senator? Good. Thank you for your service and for your commitment. We appreciate all of you and offering to put your time and service for the city of Los Angeles. I'm prepared to take a motion. Moved. No objections? Congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, that takes us to item number 4, which is the HCID and CAO reports relative to the use of $675,000 in CRA program income for the maintenance of 22 former CRA sites.
Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Emily Zen Cervantes, and I'm from the Office of the CAO. And our office just wanted to let you know that subsequent to HSID's report, there was a structural fire at one of the former CRA sites, and therefore the department requested to amend one of the recommendations and increase appropriations by $150,000. Our office concurs with the recommendations, and there is no impact to the general fund as all of the actions are fully funded by program income from the former CRA.
Okay.
I'm Vasquez Jancizian with the Housing Department.
Yes. Colleagues? Any questions? Nope. Seems a good expenditure given
I'm sorry,
the...
Mr. Chair. I was a little slow to the mic here. On the lots that I see in Council District 8 and sometimes when I'm driving here in Council District 9, it seems like I'm wondering what the program on weed abatement is, both on the properties and on sometimes there are tree wells out front on the sidewalk out front, and they get a lot of just stuff grows really, really fast, and then it turns brown, and then suddenly you have a fire situation.
We have a management company that they routinely go and inspect these sites, and we also receive phone calls from interested parties, whether the council office or any individuals, and we try to address them as soon as we're aware of them. But if there are any specific lots that you are aware, Councilman, we'll be more than happy to follow up on them.
So our staffs can call
Absolutely.
you, and then we
Yes.
Thank you.
Senator? Okay. Motion to adopt the CAO report? As amended, yes.
The CAO report already contains that amendment, so adopting the CAO report is sufficient.
Amendment included. Great. What's next?
Item 5 is the HCID and CAO reports relative to the contract amendments to increase the contract with 3DI and Rydic Computer Professionals.
Emily Zen Cervantes again from the Office of the CAO, and HSID is requesting authority to execute Second Amendment to 2 contracts for the continued provision of contract programming services. The amendments will essentially increase the contract term by a year and also increase compensation. There is a representative here from HSID if you have additional questions. Our office concurs with their recommendations, and there is no impact to the general fund.
I like that. Colleagues? You want to tell us how, did we hear this discussion in Plum yesterday, how they're improving the foreclosure? Or was this in council? Tell us how you're improving the foreclosure registry.
I'd have to get back to details on that. It is within the scope of work. Foreclosure information is develop and enhance the automated the non-compliance notices processing and the enhanced reporting and the integration of a portal with the geo-registry, which is a lot of the GIS opportunities now are being made available on the city sites, so that as well as on the open data, so that the public is more aware of where the foreclosures are occurring, and they're looking at those.
Okay. Senator? Colleagues? Okay, we're going to take a motion to move this. Yes. Motion? So moved. No objection. Forthwith to council.
Mr. Chair, you would be adopting the CAO report.
That is correct.
That takes us to item number 6, HCID and CAO reports relative to debt restructuring for the TC apartments.
The Office of the CAO is requesting authority for HSID to restructure debt for the For TC Apartments, which is located in Council District 1, it's a former CRA project. Restructuring the debt would allow the city to accept principal down payment and to write off accrued interest in exchange for preserving the affordability of the apartments for another 20 years. Office concurs with HCID's recommendations. There is no impact to the general fund. And there are representatives here if there are additional questions.
And Mr. Lee's here? Okay, Mr. Lee, we thank you for working with us to get this done. I want to thank both the housing staff and Mr. Lee for working together for this restructuring and for making sure that this preservation takes place. This is so important at this moment where preservation is preeminent for us as we battle to build the units that we need to house everyone. Colleagues, are there any questions? So it's a very thorough piece of work.
No,
Senator?
preserving these covenants is a real priority for us in the 9th as well, and I think anything we can do to move forward on that front, wherever these covenants are located, we got to. So
Yep.
I applaud the efforts and successfully completed the negotiations that arrived at this.
Yeah, we're very pleased.
How many units are there? 20 units for 20 years?
Yep.
It's not a bad deal.
No Alice here, we got no other issues. Motion to adopt CAO report forthwith to council. Second,
Second.
no objections? Nope. General public comment. No cards. Okay. I see no cards, no general public comment. Agenda is completed.
That clears the desk.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn? So moved. Done.